What's up, guys? Pittsburgh White Schwartz back again with another deck tech, as we do every week. It's your boy Andy here, joined with the legend Carmen.
What's up? What's up?
And I've been saying it for a while, for years actually. I was going to get around to putting more No Game No Life stuff up on the channel. People still ask for it, so I'm a man of my word. So here is the deck list for this week. It is the Word Chain deck that you've heard me talk so highly of, the Materialization Word Chain. I think it's like the one powerful card that really like maybe would make you want to play No Game No Life at a larger tournament. Like this, like let me put it this way: this set's fine enough that you can just play it at locals, or it can compete with everything. But if you're really trying to like play the deck to like hammer a niche in the meta, the Word Chain is a very powerful card, the one true power card the set has. I feel. Got a little bit of a different climax lineup in this one, but I promise you it will all make sense at the end. Here's the deck list. If you are here just for the deck list, we'll have the Encore decks link in the description. And slam the like button on your way out. It would mean a lot to me, especially. And let's get into it here. Level zeros, we got 16 of them total. A little bit low on the zero count, but we have multiple waves plus here at level 0. 4 copies of the Shiro Runner. This is probably the single like best card in the entire set in terms of just like overall strong playable cards. Free Runner, which is great. And then on play, top check 2 and rearrange them. You get a lot of mileage off the top checking effects in No Game No Life. That's really like the one big gimmick the set has, is you scry a lot of cards and inform your next play. Whether your cards are milling to see if you hit the certain type of card, or just to know if you want to brainstorm or play an event card that has to deal with the top cards of your deck. It's this is like the card you always are happy to have in your hand, because you can always convert that top knowledge of the 2 cards of your deck can always be converted to useful information that the deck can use. And pairing nicely with the Shiro is the 4 copies of the Phil Novalin. This is a clock bomb that is also a summoner, so when you attack with it, if you have 1 or less other characters on your field, you get to mill the top card of your deck, and if it's a level 0 character, you can put it onto your field. So this is like, these are the 2 cards you want to see in your opening hand with No Game No Life. This is like your ideal opener. And it works going either first or second. So going first, well, either way, you play the Shiro down first if you have both of them in your hand. You look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Make sure to stack a level 0 on top if you can, so that you can get the plus when you attack with the fill. And if you're going second, you just make sure to attack with the fill first. And if you're going first, you can still play the Shiro down. What you do is you just play the Shiro down to the back row. You top check your cards, make sure you have a level 0 on top, then just pull her back to the back row so she doesn't get run over, and play the fill in the front row and attack with that. That's like your best line early on. And then 3 copies of the Shiro Brainstormer. Again, scries on play, so you can use this alongside the fill also to set the top card of your deck as a level 0, hopefully, and get the summon effect off, or just throughout the game, just like I said about the runner. Always being able to look at the top card of your deck and inform your next play is No Game No Life's specialty. Next slide here, we got a Japanese card in the deck. This is a promo that I very much wish we had in English. This is the only Japanese card in the deck. If you're trying to play the deck purely in English, I will tell you what you can take these out for and replace them with at the end of the video, but trying to be as optimal as possible, I think this is the perfect card that No Game No Life really needed. And I don't know why this is Carmen, but it's always the most important promos they never bring to English.
Yeah, I think probably has something to do with the art. They censored a lot of No Game No Life, even though this one isn't even bad, but who knows.
In general, like with other sets like Sword Art, I know it's like the coin flip.
Never getting the coin flip, yeah.
It's like always the most important promo we never get. And this is a really good one for No Game No Life. On play, scry a card. Again, same second verse, same as the first. And then on attack, you choose one of your other game characters and you give them 500 power times another number of your other game characters. And since we have a reverse combo at level 1, that power is definitely appreciated there. Not to mention, again, just like the Shiro, like the runner and the Brainstormer being useful throughout the game because of the scry effects on them, this card is extra useful throughout the game because it's not only a scry effect, but it is also a power pump to help us get over some of the opponent's bigger cards, especially in like standby matchups. And then rounding out the level 0s, I got 2 1-ups here. I got 1 copy copy of the Detected Deceit Sora. This is one of the coolest level zeros the set has. On play, again, reveal top card of your deck. If it's a character or an event card, you get to draw it and then discard, which is nice that it hits on event cards because we run a bunch of event cards in this deck. And on play, you can mill the top 2 cards of your deck, and if you hit a climax, you can give him +2 soul for the turn. And just a little reminder here, you can order those 2 effects as well. So if you play something like a Shiro Brainstorm and you see the top 2, or the Shiro Runner, and you see the top 2 cards of your deck, you can, depending on how you want to do it, if you'd rather mill the 2 first to get the extra soul, you can do that, or you can put the card you want to draw with the console effect on top and then do the mill effect after. But you can order those however you want. And then 1 copy of the Drop Search, just a nice assurance tool to have. You could take that out for something else if you felt like you really wanted to, but I like having the extra assurance tool to help get our combo off at level 1 and for the big word chain surprise at level 2. So going into level 1 here, let me introduce you to Steph, the best level 1 combo in No Game No Life. That is my honest opinion here. I think this is actually the best level 1 combo in the set. Has a lot of drawbacks, but it's the only card that both generates you stock and generates you a guaranteed plus if you can get the reverse, which is something that none of the other combos in No Game No Life can really do. This is, as a drawback, it can't side attack, whatever. And then when you reverse your opponent with this, if you have the red stock soul, you can blind stock from the top of your deck and then salvage the Key of Hope event, which is a cigarettes event. So mill 2, salvage a character. So this card's kind of like if you remember back in old school Konosuba, kind of like a bunny girl union in a sense, where you get a free stock and then you also get a plus, but the plus is guaranteed here, unlike with Union, where the plus is not guaranteed. You have to hit a top check. If you'd rather run something like a bunny girl union, you're in luck. No Game No Life does have their own bunny girl union in green, but again, I think especially with the word chain Gibral deck, you need so much stock going into that turn if you want to get an effective word chain off, and then still have extra if you want to be able to like play your finishers and stuff too. So getting the extra stock's really important. And again, it is a little bit of an older and dated set, so you really don't want to be gambling on your pluses with the coin flip combos. I don't think just having the guaranteed plus, if I can set up the reverse, is really nice. And at level 0, we have that card, the Shiro, Enchanting Tail Shiro, that will pump power on attack to help you get big enough, as well as another assist on the next slide here. Rounding out the level 1s, there's 4 of the Key of Hope event that I mentioned before. It's just a normal cigarettes event. You have to have a Sora or Shiro character on the field in order to play it from your hand. I don't know why the card has that drawback. Maybe just because it's part of a climax combo, but it's pretty much an invisible condition. As long as you have your Brainstorm down, it's like free. But just something to keep in mind, maybe you don't want to crash your Brainstorm out in the first couple turns. Make sure to keep one in the back row so you can play your cigarettes. And 2 copies of the Steph Box Topper. She is a global 500 assist, and on play, you will give 1500 power to one of your characters. Just a nice little assurance tool to help make sure our Steph combo at level 1 can get the reverse. And that 1500 power plus the global 5, plus any other additional pumps, if you can get like the Enchanting Tail Shiro, you should be able to get over what you need to get over. And then just crash over one of their smaller knit lanes with your second Steph. And then moving on to the main meat and potatoes of the deck here, we got Gibral and the word chain event. So which one of these should I explain first?
Probably the word chain.
Probably the word chain, yeah. This card has 1 million words on it. You can read it for yourself there. Just to give you like basically what it does, the TLDR here, you play this event card, it goes to your memory, and it stays there for 1 turn cycle. At the end of your opponent's turn, it will go from your memory to your waiting room. So it'll stay there for a whole turn cycle, and at the beginning of the climax phase on either player's turn. So when I play the word chain, on my turn, when I go to climax step, the play a game effect will happen, and then on your opponent's turn, they get a chance to play the game too, because it's only fair. Your opponent gets a chance to play. And the game is, the turn player declares either 0, 1, 2, or 3. And if your opponent has a character if you or your opponent, so if a character with that level exists on the field, all characters of that level on the field are destroyed. You can encore them if you like, but they do go to waiting room, so if you do encore, they will come back tapped. But yeah, so, and then if there is not a character with the declared level on the field, both players get to choose a character of that level in their waiting room and put it on any position of their stage. stage. So, for example, if my opponent is playing Hololive and they have a board full of Rushia early plays, and I think that's no bueno, I slap down my word chain and I say level 3, then checks, sees that there is level 3 exists on the field, and all level 3s are blown up then. Or you could use it in a way to summon something to your field. If, let's say, you wanted to summon a level 3 to your field, you could get a little cheeky with it that way and say, if there's no level 3s on the field, you can call level 3 and summon one of your finishers out if you'd like. But usually we're using this as a disruption tool for our opponent. And at first glance, this event reads kind of not great for the sheer fact that your opponent gets to play the game on their turn. So even if you like mess up your opponent's board and blow up all their early plays, or set up your own god field or whatever, your opponent gets a chance to crack back at you with it. But what's the meme? You know, the game was rigged from the start. You know, Gibril standing behind you on the moon with a gun there. Because the Gibril here has the effect, if Materialization Word Chain is in your memory, this card gets +2 levels and 8,000 power. So that means the Gibril is sitting at 14,000 power before any additional pumps at level 4. And if you recall the game, Carmen, you can only choose 1, 2, 3, or 0. You cannot choose 4, so your opponent can't actually hit your Gibrils. So the ideal play here is you disrupt your opponent's big early play board and you set a field of 2 or 3 14k walls that they can't interact with on their turn. Yes, you blow up your opponent's field with the word chain, they can encore their stuff, but then 14k from my Gibril should be big enough to get over most things, especially if I'm blowing up their back row assists and stuff too, if they have level 3 assists and standby decks. So after you blow up all their stuff, even if they encore, you should be able to get over, and then on their turn on the way back, they're going to have to set up their whole field again, and even if they do successfully set up their whole field, they're going to have to swing over a 14k Gibril.
And play the game again, which might screw them depending on how they
It could. Playing what I found is the opponent playing the game on the way back, it helps them set back up their level 3 field in a sense, because they can like summon a level 3 off the event, but that's only if they don't play a level 3 early play again from their hand, right? So like let's take a look at Hololive Rushia, for example, right? That was the example I gave before. If you blow up all their Rushias, their turn comes around, they play the game, they can choose to summon a level 3 Rushia from their waiting room if there's no level 3s on the field, but that's only if they didn't play like a Rushia from their hand already, right?
Or a hand encore, yeah.
Or hand encore, because again, if that level exists, then they can't summon a character of that level.
And even if they hand encore, they shrink back down. They don't get their like power cross turn because you've effectively blinked them.
That's another nice thing about it. The Gibril also has another effect. When you play it, if you have less cards in hand than your opponent, you can put the top card of your deck into stock. This can be a pretty stock expensive thing to do. This is why I have the stock charging combo at level 1, because that's a 3-cost event that you have to play during your main phase and then still have resources to play down the Gibrils or to brainstorm or do whatever else you need to do on your turn. So the fact that you can finagle it to have the Gibril refund the stock, like you can play the event card first and then play the Gibrils to like help get your hand size down a little bit, or just try to like play out your turn in a way that going to be able to get the stock back off the Gibrils. That's always very nice when that happens, because then it gets really punishing when you can follow up with yet another word chain on a future turn, and you can really start attritioning your opponents out that way, or just not let them have their big god board at all. One other important thing to note with the word chain and Gibril, there's a cool interaction. Word chain summons from graveyard. It can summon level 2s from graveyard. The Gibril is a level 2 in the graveyard. So if there are like no, let's say this is in your memory or something, and your opponent has like no level 2s on the field and they call level 2, or if you call level 2, because you don't have a Gibril on your field, this will summon as a level 2 from your graveyard and then turn into a level 4 on the field. It's also really funny when your opponent forgets that Gibril is in fact level 4 and they call level 2, and then they're like, why aren't you taking your cards off the field? I'm like, oh, they're level 4s.
Game's rigged.
The game's rigged. Like I said at the start, I think this is probably like the big competitive thing, quote unquote competitive thing No Game No Life has. If you wanted to like really take it to a tournament, I think this is like the niche you could try to like exploit with the deck. Going into like 8 standby heavy metas or just like early play heavy metas, if people are playing like even stuff like Love Live Sunshine, like being able to blow up all their level 3s. Or I mean, there's like even other niche applications. Just if your opponent's putting a lot of same level characters on the field, maybe 8 standby slime getting a whole bunch of 2/2s. You can even find funny niche applications in old matchups against like Attack on Titan. If they have a field of errands that are going to pop back, you can just kill them all. You can get creative with word chain. The big blowout potential comes in these standby matchups when you slam down a field of 14Ks and then board wipe them. But even in matchups where you're not going for the word chain, you can still sometimes you can get creative with it and get some value off of it. But yeah, that's pretty much the spiel on word chain. Then getting into the level 3s here. 3 copies of the early play Izuna. This is like the only green in the deck outside of the level 0 fill, so make sure to put one of those level 0 fills into your level or clock so that you can get this healer off. Only early play healer in the set. And then moving into your actual level 3s, 2 copies of this blank subordinate Gibral, which is a on play heal, and then it's an off finisher, so when you attack with it, you can discard 2 cards and deal damage to your opponent. So you'll throw this in your open lanes, and then you can use the next card here, the Shiro finisher, in the lanes where your opponent leaves you reverses. When you play Welcome Gamer, you get a draw card, and this card gets 6,000 power, and it's an on-reverse restanding combo that pretty cheap cost to pay 1, but you have to discard 2, so the extra draw from the Climax combo is nice for that, but not necessary. The Climax combo gets you up to, what is it, you get the 6,000 power, so you get up to 15.5, 16.5 with the Climax. Yeah. So you're definitely going to get the reverse there. But even if you don't have the combo, if your opponent has like weak stuff on their field, you could still play this like an off finisher, because the restand effect is not connected to the Climax combo. The Climax combo is what gives you the extra draw and the shitload of power. Chose to run this as the finisher in the deck over something more obvious option like the Steph combo that burns, because I did try that before, and the issue I was running into was you just have way too many event cards in the deck. If you really want to play materialization word chain, in my findings, if you want to play word chain and have enough stock in hand to really like just play the game normally too, in games where word chain doesn't blow your opponent up, you kind of need to be playing that Steph combo at level 1, so you can get the guaranteed plus and the guaranteed stock on the reverse. And then if you're playing that combo, that means you have to be running all these event cards in your deck, and then materialization word chain is also an event. So the fact that you get the extra stock back with the Steph combo at level 1 helps you like build up to a finisher. But when I would try to go for the Steph combos, it would just be way too much stock. Like you wouldn't really have enough stock to get a meaningful word chain combo off and get your event cards in the memory and then go for the Steph combo. So it's nice that the Shiro is like way less stock intense and doesn't involve necessarily having event cards in your memory. So that is why I went with that card there and what I found to work best. And then here we have it, the whole deck list laid out once again.
I think there's one more card on here. Put the slide, this 2/1 Shiro, I think it's a level assist, right?
Oh yeah, we got the slide for that. That is a 2/1 level, it's a 2/1 on play, or gives 2,000 power to level 3 or higher characters in front of it, and then it's also a Climax swap, so just another way to get into our finisher combo, swap our Climaxes around if we need to. And again, since you are kind of like tanking up on field, either with the Gibrals that are sitting at massive power, or if you're just in games where word chain's not doing anything for you and you're just going for a traditional strategy of playing early plays like the Izuna's, it's nice to be able to give it some extra power, as well as being a Climax swap on the same card. So
being able to summon it with word chain's pretty cool too. Summon it to your back row and buffs the rolls.
That is something you can do, yeah, because the Gibrals are level 4 on the field, so you can call 2 if no level 2s are on the field, and then get
in the matchups where you're afraid your opponent will be able to like bounce something over 14/5, like particularly the Hololive, because they can shit out another 15/5 Rushia, try to hit back over you again.
Yeah, or something like Kaguya with the Shirogane.
Yep.
That gets to 14/5. That gets a little bit too big, but luckily that deck just got a ban. Hee. So maybe Gibral's a little bit more safe now, maybe. But that's the deck list there. Definitely a non-conventional deck. I honestly, like, I've been looking at no game no life decks for years. I've been really perusing Encore decks, looking for like any potential like tech cards or any like new strategies to run with it. I've tried so many different decks, and it's like I don't really see a lot of people running the word chain stuff. And I think part of it is due because like the cards are kind of rare because they're like old box toppers that can be hard to get. But I think it's like an unexplored niche that No Game No Life can potentially fill in a competitive metagame.
No weather set has word chain. That's fair.
Yeah, it's a big unique thing this set has. And don't think I forgot about all you English only homies out there. I do have those Japanese Shiros in the deck, but if you're an English only player, we have a couple workarounds here. You just take those 3 Shiros out for an extra Shiro Brainstorm, which scries on play, and 2 copies of the Shiro Box Topper, which pumps power equal to soul on attack. So these kind of the Japanese cards, kind of both of these in a sense combined into one. You get the scry and the power pump on one card, but you could just run an extra Brainstormer in these auxiliary pumpers as well, and you get a similar effect.
All right.
And that's it. Unless you have anything to add, Carmen.
Well, I think you reminded me when you're talking about it. Got to do some post-ban list stuff for Kaguya and Data Live. Data Live changed a lot, obviously. You're probably not going to play standby at all. But Kaguya, you can make changes. The deck runs pretty much the same. Definitely not as oppressive at 0, obviously. Ban stuff out. But just to go over like the changes, we could do like a double deck tech on like just the, ideas on looking forward.
How you update those decks. Yeah.
Yeah, should be an interesting video. But yeah, the usual stuff. Card games competitive. We don't own or operate those Discords, but we are there. We're in them. We participate. If you want to talk about Weiss or maybe catch some webcam games or Weiss fight games, jump in there and join the discussion. Facebook, Global, and NA. You're looking to buy, sell, and trade cards. Definitely give those a look. There's also card reveals for JP that get posted to Global. In the Discords, they do card reveals as well. Our good friend Kevin over at Clee Broken collapses all those into one little channel and make sure that they're drip feeded straight to your Discord so you can see all the new card reveals come out. And then if you want to try this out and you you can't get your hands on those 2-1 Jabril drop box toppers, you can hop on Weiss Fight, grab the Encore Dex link from the description that Andy is providing, and just slam it in there and start playing with all over the world in your browser. No need to buy anything like TTS. Just point yourself to that website, make an account, get to Encore Dex, and get playing. It's always a good time. If you want to support that project or you have feedback for the developer, definitely hop into the Discord and give that a look. Yeah, I think that's it. Again, Rush Rundowns, upcoming content. We are working on those. I have some live event stuff that is coming up that is preventing me from really working on them, but hopefully when we get past that, should be able to hunker down, get all those recorded, get all those edited, and also drip feed them out when they are. But we did not forget about them. They are happening. Other upcoming content, set reviews basically on hold until Tokyo Revengers or AOT final season. Once we get information about that, you will definitely know, because we like doing set reviews, but no, we liked it so much we did a set review for a set that didn't exist. So definitely give that a look. Pro did a lot of work to the set review. It's cool to, even though custom cards might not be everybody's jam, custom sets are a way to sort of like explore different design space in Weiss and why things work as cards, why things don't work as cards, and like helps you familiarize yourself with how cards are balanced. So when you're playing a game against somebody and they get their effect wrong, whether their card is English or Japanese, mostly happens when people are playing only English, because English players don't read their cards, myself included. You'll have a better idea of whether that's effective. You'll be like, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't balance out right with that power line and that effect. Double check it. Pretty
yeah, when people make custom Weiss sets, there's a lot of math that goes into it. It's actually not just, I'm going to design the most broken card ever. It has like 1,000,000 power and does this, and this. There's like a checks and balance system. There's like a formula you use.
And 3-6 Cancel did a good video on that too. It's linked in the description of the video, or you can go over to 3-6 Cancel channel, check that out. It's definitely a good topic. But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Pittsburgh White Sports signing off. We'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.